Howdy and aloha, everyone. This is James with Monotalk. It is April 7th, 2024, and this is my documentary on the craziness of this planet. It's always been pretty nutty. But in the past 3 to 4 years, it has been on steroids. Psychotic lunacy, just fucking nuts. Sometimes there are some cool and fun situations like this. When you watch that's nice. I had to reschedule. I'm going on later in this year. So, this is the new job anyway. I am doing well, and everything seems to be okay to a certain extent on my end. Inflation still sucks. Gas prices still suck. Utilities prices still suck. We have the global pedo-predator class still marching, still moving, still doing their thing. And nobody's really targeting them. In other words, people would brush over the predator class, the global pedo-predator class, World Economic Forum, World Health Organization, Council on Foreign Relations, Chatham House, Trilateral, all that other stuff. And just the bazillionaires that are out there pretty much pulling the strings on media and the government, controlling all the Demoncrats, controlling all the Rhipiglicans. And it's kind of interesting because you got people like this. Eric Schmidt of Missouri, who's a fucking bulldog. This guy's a fucking, I'd put him up there with a shark like me. Left-wing authoritarianism, Eric Schmidt. Left-wing authoritarianism is on the rise, and its calling card is censorship. Of course, this is being done under the guise of protecting people from misinformation, quote unquote. Stay vigilant, fight back. Yeah, well, you guys just took down TikTok. Well, didn't take it down, but you just took over, with the funding and the psyop that you saw from Zuckerberg just a month or so ago, maybe a month ago, when he was in Congress at a hearing and he had to apologize to parents and people. It's just like, those hearings, and I've always said this since 2017, this is my 6th or 7th YouTube channel because of the Orwellian 1984 Ministry of Truth, totalitarianism, and the community guidelines that they have here at YouTube. And I have to speak in code a lot just to make sure that, they don't take down just another fucking channel. Because I've always been warning people and alerting people and bringing different perspectives and on what's going on out there. And a lot of that stuff they didn't like, especially in the beginning of 2020 when I was clearly saying this thing they want everybody to take is it's completely indemnified, meaning you can't sue. That's never happened in the history of any medication. And then they claimed as it was going through that it's safe and effective and all this other shit. You guys know what I'm talking about. And it's just ridiculous. And I tried to point out the connections and the people that were, you know, pontificating, in my opinion, and completely, you know, just outright lying, and proving it, and showing documentation, and showing clips, and going to websites, and showing their own words, and the data, everything, you know, all the information was right there. But YouTube didn't like it, so now, like I said, I'm on my 6th or 7th YouTube channel, and you know, I do what I can do to get some information out there to people that I think might be, not, excuse me, a lot of people that are dependent on, you know, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, BBC, PBS, New York Times, LA Times, you know, the mainstream media and all the different platforms and types of media and social media out there. It's just crazy, because all those people, or excuse me, all those corporations that are out there and people connected to those corporations they don't care about you. It's not in their best interest is money. But as I've said in the past, and I'm going to continue to say it because this is what's been happening since 2020, early 2020. It's a depopulation process. Like I've said to people is, you know, after you've taken your 3rd or 4th, and then you get a few boosters, go check your sperm count. Go check you see how's your health doing. Have you been sick more in the past 2 or 3 years than you have ever in your life? I'm sure you have. You know, I've got family members that are just, I can't even say it. It's just kind of sad. But some were coerced, some were mandated, some had no choice. And some good friends of mine that had to do that to keep their jobs, which, you know, OSHA was behind. And, you know that the FDA has always been totally, completely there to make sure that you're as healthy as possible. Bullshit. Nope. Bullshit. And if you go to their website and look at all the recalled items, you couldn't scroll through all of them in a day. It might take a day, but it's, you know, read every single one, because the FDA will approve something based on the money that they're getting, or maybe they're just, you know, the corporation, you know, of the United States is branched off into different networked companies called the CDC, the FDA, the USDA, NIH, you know, the Health and Human Services. These are all just part of this giant web of network of just this money-making machine. You know, and you know it as well as I know it that, you know, big pharma, big hospital, big elderly care, big psychology, which is a big industry, and all related, don't make money off of healthy people. Don't make money, you know. I always say go check out what the Flexner report was back in was it 12 or somewhere back then, the Flexner report, when they changed holistic and natural proven remedies and medicines, in a sense, over to the authority of the government and to the authority of big pharma. And, you know, the rest is pretty much history, and as we've seen it and known it. But yeah, they're methodically killing us, and they want to get rid of about 2/3 of us on this planet to hoard the rest for themselves, because they don't need your money anymore. They don't need your money. They don't need your labor. They don't need your likes. They don't need your subscribers. You know, the global pedo-predator class believes you're just in the way now. There's just too many of you, and that's their job is. So Eric Schmidt, I believe, kind of understands that. I think a lot well, not enough, but I think there are a lot of Republicans and conservatives, and maybe a very seldom few Democrats out there that are kind of seeing what's going on. And maybe they may want to look more into the direction of what these people are doing, what these globalists are steering us towards. And that's something that everyone needs to be concerned about. It's just to the point now where we, as a species, are being exterminated. And it's not from an alien, from another dimension, or from, some other solar system. And I mean, what is there, like 3,912 known solar systems in this galaxy? Maybe more, who knows, somewhere around there. And everyone's going to have an eclipse at some point or time. If I fucking heard, say the word eclipse again, fucking say it again. It's funny, I saw that meme the other day with Samuel L. Jackson. Say eclipse again, motherfucker. Say it again. Yeah, just say it. Yeah, but it's hard for people that I can see is for them to wrap their heads around about a third of what I just said or what I'm stating. But when you've gone down the abyss, the dark, not a rabbit hole. A rabbit hole is a few feet deep, and you're still on the surface. But when you go down into the abyss, as I have, it's dark, it's lonely, and you will see things that you've never thought you've seen before. And there are some things and some data and information and documents that I've retrieved and posted just during the time of when Fluvid-19 started. And I started to present that information. I was talking about Luc Montagnier. I was talking about who else? Steve Kirsch. I was bringing it. I always talk about and bring up somebody who really does some great journalism and actually has a class on real journalism. His name is James Corbett. Excellent information. Another one who I had on this show was Ryan Christian, and I think that was in 2020. He came on for a little while. Red Economics was there with me, and we had a really great conversation. And the authoritarianism, the Ministry of Truth, the cancel culture, and a few other things. His Twitter was just taken down. Naomi Wolf is out there, who I think is good. I'm not really big on Dr. Malone. I think he's more he's kind of back and forth with me. Peter McCullough, I think, has some good information. There's a lot of people, and I'm just scraping the surface of some of the people that are just popping into my head. But there's a ton of people out there that were following this, that were really going after it, more so than many that I thought would. I mean, I was surprised as hell that Jimmy wasn't getting this, Jimmy Dore. I was like, dude, I'm sending him information. I'm saying don't take the step, but he took it, and then he took another one. And he's been injured ever since. And it's sad because I think I spent almost $100 in super chats trying to save that guy, but I guess I don't think that Stephanie was Zimmerana was reading those to him, and she would go, pass, I can't read that. Yeah, maybe you couldn't, but hopefully you get it to him. But anyway, there's just a lot of information that, I don't like to say cognitive dissonance. I think that's kind of been abused. I think it's just the desire or will or the passion to present information to people that will either help you or hurt you. I mean, my grandfather always said, you can be the smartest man in the room, You can be the most knowledgeable, smartest man in the room, but if you sit in the corner, you're useless. People always say knowledge is power. Now, properly applied knowledge is power. And there are times when I've applied the knowledge, felt powerful, and then once I get to a certain point, the censorship of Facebook and Twitter before Musk got around would pull my information immediately. Once I was, red hot on the target, and I knew it, and I would put it up, and then the next thing I was just waiting. I would just see it. I would just wait it, and I was right. Not all the time, I'm not saying I was perfect on everything I posted, but there's a lot of information that you have to ponder. Some of it you take as a grain of salt, but some of it you have to, go, well, that's kind of interesting. Why don't I look into that a little bit further? And I always say, chickadee, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Do your own due diligence. Do your own research. If you get somebody sending you something, if you have any further questions for them or where did you get this information from, just ask them. And that's the great thing about Rogan is he has long conversations that people should be having. Sadly, our attention span has gone down to microseconds, it seems like, that nobody wants to listen to an entire conversation that's more than, 5 or 8 minutes. They start, even though it's probably the most compelling and interesting information that you've ever heard or seen or just, amazing, info that's coming at you. A lot of people just get turned off at about 8 to 10 minutes. It's just sad. And I think that's just a lack of reading, period, or just, what's really interesting is people just don't want you, they want you to read certain books and this book and that book and this book and this article and this, because they want you to stay within the bowling alley bumper ball lane. They don't want you going, into the gutter, which sometimes you can, but they want to keep you on that path. It's the narrative they want you to stay in tuned on or targeted on or distracted by, or they want to turn you to this way or that direction or detour you in some way. It's just amazing, and I've always brought up the power of marketing, advertising, public relations, branding, and all these other things that people just aren't privy to. They don't even know they're being sold. Some people don't know they're being, tricked, fooled, played, and it's hard, kind of. I think he paraphrased, or Mark Twain at some point, I guess he said, it's harder to prove to somebody that they've been fooled than it is to fool them. And that's pretty prevalent these days. And couldn't be more true. It's crazy. It's a nutty word. We need more sanity. We need some more, things to get a lot better. And it's not going to happen with this administration because the Biden administration and all the Demoncrats, and there are some Rhipiglicans out there that are all in with the New World Order, the Fourth Industrial Revolution, aka the World Economic Forum, and their climate crap bullshit, weak, get your feelings hurt easy era. That's just what they want. They want they want you to be weak. They want you to be meek. They want you to be malleable. They want you to be easily controlled. Comply. And it's crazy. It's, you thought the Third Reich was nasty. You thought freaking Adolf was a fucking shithead, but these people are not. These people are just 10 times worse. And they're going after you. Like Trump says, they're not going after me, they're going after you. I'm just in the way. And there are some politicians out there that are out there. And I just got to say this, Trump, believe it or not, is a politician. Believe it or not, I know he's a maverick. I know he's this. I know he's that. And I think he does care. He's a good kid. I think people think that he's crap, but he's got 91 charges against him. Charges. Let's repeat the word charges. Charges are like laid claims, accusations. It's like getting a ticket and then you go to court, you fight it, you could win. But he's never been charged with a felony. As a matter of fact, the guy doesn't drink. Right? He's done really well. His dad set him up pretty good. His whole heritage or his lineage is really pretty sound. His grandfather, great-great-grandfather, I believe, was he owned a parlor. He was just a hair cutter, And then his dad started doing construction, working his ass off, swinging a hammer, and started understanding what flipping properties were. And then he got into commercial properties, and he started making good money, which is happening all over. I mean, are they evil? Is it bad for somebody to be successful in commercial property? Of course not. Is it bad for somebody to be successful on the internet or with AI? Of course not. There's nothing against success. There should never be. But the thing is this capitalist derangement syndrome. There's something I used to have. Capitalists are assholes. Capitalists are No, basically this country was built off of capitalism, right? It more recently is being taken down by socialism, mass socialism, to the point of communism, to the point of hardcore authoritarianism, tyrannical authoritarianism, to a dystopian type process, to major enslavement. It's just right at our doorstep, and a lot of people don't even get that. And that's what I've been trying to warn people for a long time. Just let people know that, look, I want you to be free. I want you to have a good time. What I'd like everybody to have is kind of like the 70s. The 70s and the 80s were just fucking bomb, man. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was a hell of a lot better than it is now. And by the way, that is a big, what is that? A moth? One of the big mosquito things. We're on the precipice, and I've always said that in many of my shows, but we are truly on that pinnacle, right on the edge of either going in a direction that, and if you look at this right here, right, this is the one I want to show you right here. This picture right here is this is where we're at. This is how bad it's getting. Right? The freedoms you surrender today are the freedoms your children will never know existed. Now think about that. Think about how that profound it is, and how urgent it should be for all of us to think, to digest that information, retain it, move it around a little bit, and say, yeah, I'm a boomer, which I am, just by a year. I want my kids to be able to do things. I want them and their kids, and so to have the freedoms that I had, to have the food prices that I had, to have, or to not know what the word organic is. The reason why I say that is because organic didn't pop up until pesticides and GMOs and all this other shit started being, painted and sprayed and inserted in our food. It's just sad that when I was a kid, I remember eating a grape, and it was a grape. Apple tasted like an apple. Fruit, vegetables were just rich in flavonoids and carotenoids. Look that up. Dark, colorful produce. That was amazing. And we don't have that anymore. Everything's, it's like it's grown in a lab. It's pretty bad. I'm just trying to say that we put ourselves, and it's not we, it's they, because what they've done to us is they are methodically and gradually getting rid of us. Do you think the people that went on these shows or whatever, like Nicole Kidman and Robert Downey Jr. and who's of them? I forgot her name. Angelina Jolie. Do you believe they are eating bugs right now? Because these are the people that were saying bugs are good. You should eat them. Do you think they're eating bugs, or do you think they're eating the purest fruit, the purest vegetables, the cleanest, most purest mineral, natural water? What do you think? I think they're full of shit, and they're getting paid to do the shit that they do. To put the theater out there. That's what they're paid to do. Organic should not even exist. It just should be fucking plain old, here's a fruit, here's a vegetable, here's some meat, doesn't have any crap or injections and all this other shit in it. But people just fucking, it's like your tolerance level is getting higher and higher. And that's the biggest concern. And it's gotten that way for a few decades, where our tolerance, it's just a couple more things. It's just this and that. And I've compared on Facebook and with these pictures that the stuff they get in the UK has about a third of all the chemicals and crap that they put in the United States food. We're talking ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, just, condiments, sauces, whatever. It's fucking terrible. That should not even happen. Yeah, there needs to be a fucking major change. And I'm not talking the change like Obama change, because that change was a bullshit change. His change was a whole bunch of bullshit lies from the fucking very beginning. The guy's just crap. The guy's just a piece of shit. But the thing I think is most important is that everybody just take the time to peek in the door. Just open the window a little bit and get some fresh air and try that. What is the other side saying? What is this side saying? What is this party? What do they have? I just want to see what's going on. Don't be so blinded like a fucking racehorse, Just listen to a few things. I get it. And no, I'm not fucking big on, 45-year-old fat bearded men going into a fucking girl's bathroom or locker room. Yeah, so that trans shit can go fuck off. I ain't fucking buying that shit. That's just groomo pedo predator shit that the global pedo predator class does all the time. They're sick fuckers. Yeah, that trans shit can go fuck off. Yeah, you can do that in your own house, your own room if you want to walk around, but don't go in a fucking girl's bathroom. Keep that shit away from my fucking kids, from babies, from children, from toddlers, from just all that. Sickening. It's fucking sickening. Anyway, I'm gonna shift gears to Trump, and there's a new little video that Dr. Shiva put out. It's pretty compelling, and let's just watch it first, and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Okay, so let me just grab it here. I'm gonna go to here. No, I'm gonna go to here. I'm gonna show this right here.
Special prosecutor, here we come, right?
It's just awfully good that someone
with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Donald Trump wins the presidency.
I've just received a call from Secretary Clinton, and I congratulated her and her family on a very, very hard-fought campaign. I mean, she fought very hard.
But in a meeting today at the New Times where reporters were live tweeting the conversation, Mr. Trump said this when asked about prosecuting her. "I don't want to hurt the Clintons," he said. "I really don't. She went through a lot and suffered greatly in many ways."
And Bill and Hillary, and they were going to Michigan. No, it's okay. No, forget it. That plays great before the election. No, we don't care, right? That plays great before the election. No, we don't care, right? That plays great before the election. No, we don't care.
The end is near for most pharma companies, and this is why they're so desperate to make sure you get jabbed and poked and jabbed and poked and jabbed and poked. You're going to see why. Follow the money. Take Pfizer. In 2011, they made $65 billion in revenue. In 2020, they only made $41 billion. They lost $25 billion in revenue. Pharmaceutical companies are tanking. They're not doing well. And you can sue a pharmaceutical company. They're saying, my revenues are going down with pharmaceutical drugs, which are single molecule drugs. But this jabines, this jabination stuff, hey, that's pretty good. I can't get sued. It's growing at 17, 20% per year. Big margins. I don't even have to do the same level of testing. Pharmaceutical drugs have to go through in vitro, then you have to do animal testing, then you have to go to phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. But thank you to Operation Warp Speed, so they could circumvent a lot of fundamental testing.
Operation Warp Speed to shorten the vaccine development timeline.
And I've always felt it was the most important is the vaccine. I would recommend it, and I would recommend it to a lot of people that don't want to get it, and a lot of those people voted for me, frankly. But it's a great vaccine, it's a safe vaccine, and it's something that works. And we've been working round the clock, and what I got the FDA to do, this would have happened.
All right, I gotta stop it there. Because I've got this stuff happening here. It says right here, Trump needs to admit he was fooled by Fauci regarding the COVID-19 and stop being blindly proud of the World Economic Forum's mass depopulation genocide, Mary, Roger, Nancy, Alpha, bioweapon. Now. Yeah, he's still, I mean, this could be bad for him, right? But the thing about this is there's no pushback. There's no, I've got a few people on True Social, whatever to fucking call them, that are full agreement. They're Trump supporters, but they're in full agreement. This guy needs to fucking come out and say what the fuck happened. And he needs to go over this, because these adverse data that's coming out is extremely alarming, and it's not getting better. It's getting worse and worse and worse as time goes by, and these injuries, real injuries, are just 100%, 200% more than usual, 300 some, 600%. It's crazy. And the actual information and the data that's going to be available, I don't know what he's going to do with it. But if he doesn't expose it, the truth, which people are finding out. I mean, you had Edward Dowd was on Dr. Drew the other day. And he had brought this point up, and a few others have brought this point, and Weinstein, not Weinstein, but what the fuck is his name? I think I'm saying it. He's Dark Horse or something media or something like that. But they're saying that the data is clearly showing that this thing is genocidal. It is a bioweapon. This thing is nuts. It's crazy. And that information's already out there. Now, the real numbers are probably attainable by the Biden administration right now, but they're not going to show that because they are all in. The Biden administration is all in with the World Economic Forum, the New World Order, and all that other shit. Right? But is Trump going to come out and say it? Is Trump going to come out and fucking say what the fuck? Just tell us what happened, dude. I mean, look, Fauci has been selling presidents for decades. He's good at it. You know, whether he's coercing you or he's forcing you or whatever the fucking process is. There's that goddamn little fucking flag thing. Whatever it is he's doing, he's been good at it. Look, and I know Mr. Trump is a good salesman. I know he's, you know, the art of the deal. I get it. But there are people that are probably better than him, you know, because Bricks, who was with, you know, Fauci brought a gigantic team of people that have been on his side doing his dirty work and helping him with his sales pitch for a long time. And Trump, from my perspective, after I've done some research, and the problem with this guy and his ego is he just won't fucking just say, look, they got me. And I regret that. You know, and he would be seen as a viable, real, genuine person if he could admit a fault. And that's it. You know, look, we know you're not guilty of any of these 91 charges. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows you're not going to get a felony. You don't drink. You're a stand-up guy. As soon as you started fucking running for office, that's when they turned on you because you're a threat. You're a good person, right? But if you really want to be a great person, you have to admit your faults. You have to admit. A good leader will admit fault and do whatever it takes to never let it happen again. To repair it and never let it happen again. So you have to let that happen. So the other thing is he was POTUS at the time of the United States of America. And the problem is that's a major lawsuit. This fucking country and the people that have had, you know, adverse effects or have been injured could go after the government if any one of them in his administration admits that we were played, we were fooled. That's their fault. I think that's the problem here. It's a very slippery slope, you know, where, well, because you have to see it from the government's perspective. If they admit fault, no matter who the president was at the time, that would destroy industries. That would completely destroy Big Pharma, for sure. That would completely destroy big hospital, for sure. Big elderly care, you know, big psychology. The chain reaction would be huge. And if he admits that, then he has to repair it, which that's the thing either he doesn't want to do or they're warning him not to do. I hope you guys are kind of getting this. Because it's a lot, it's a huge, it's a huge exposure. It's like, you know, getting caught with your pants down. I mean, and the floodlights come up and you're sitting there going, you know what I mean? It's pretty bad. You know, it's the smoking gun in your hand just being fired. That's what it's at. And it's because a lot of other countries were following us. You know, I mean, they're weighing right now if do we let Trump, or do we tell him, or maybe he knows, you know, he's not an idiot, but maybe he knows how detrimental that could be to us. You know, it's like admitting why was there a camera filming a guy coming off of one giant step for man, one giant step for mankind, one giant leap for mankind, one giant step for man, one giant leap for mankind, or something like that? When there was a fucking camera filming live of Neil Armstrong stepping on the moon. And the question that's been asked 1,000 times is, who's holding that camera? Who's holding that camera? Right? This is from outside of the ship. All these things. MK Ultra, the Gulf of Tonkin, the Vietnam War, Pearl Harbor, banks and the military industrial complex made bazillions of dollars off of that. 9/11, Building 7. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on. But this one's pretty heavy. And we're going to find out. We're finding out already it was bullshit. We're finding out already that back in early 2020, that was the big fucking scam. But people are hurting from it. People have been severely hurt. People have lost their lives. And whether it's one person or a bazillion people, it needs to be rectified. Justice needs to happen. True justice needs to happen. And there is no true justice right now. Let's watch the rest of this. Let's watch.
Happened in many years from now if I didn't get involved and if we didn't get involved. What I got the FDA to do.
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you. 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 They got oh! And I'll be there with you. 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 We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved. Now Congress has certified the results. We will never give up. We will never concede. A new administration will be inaugurated on January 20th. We will never give up. We will never concede. My focus now turns to ensuring a smooth, orderly, and seamless transition of power.
That's very compelling, because I brought those points up. I brought all that information up. As a matter of fact, where did I bring that up in? I had much more information than that on what was going on. But here's where we're at. Besides that, okay, all I'm going to say, and I think that's very compelling, I think that makes sense. I do not disagree with what he's throwing out there. I don't. I don't see a way of doing that. I'll be right there with you when he takes off. You know, kind of left a lot of these people. I mean, he was dealing with his own shit. I get that. And he always talked about these people were unlawfully detained for a trap. It was basically a trap, in my opinion. But the thing that I brought to everyone's attention as well was how Trump was trying to say he was on with Bill O'Reilly. Take the vaccine. Did you take the vaccine? Yeah, I took the vaccine. Did you take the vaccine? Yeah, I took the vaccine. You know, and then and still pushes it to this day. It's, you know, no matter what, and I know this is kind of weird because I'm Trump. I am Trump, but here's the reason why. Because Dr. Shiva, I am telling you, bro, Trump has about 90 million hardcore voters. I do believe that video will show and maybe get people to contemplate his actions. I get it. But nobody was out in the street. Right? This is what I was saying for a long ass fucking time. I was telling people left and right, we need to protest the World Economic Forum. Right? We need to fucking say bullshit. Right? We need to, this is craziness. And I tried to get people out there to protest. And nobody was fucking doing it. You know, you guys got to go after this because this is just getting way out of hand. Oh, thanks. What the fuck is this? Alright. I had so much fucking information. You know, just tons and tons of fucking information on this. It was crazy. I had just a ton of information on this. That ad is a Dr. Sheev ad, True. Just letting you know. God darn it. That stupid little bug. This thing is bugging me. Alright, give me a second. I'll be back. Yeah, look, all I'm saying to Dr. Sheev is you've got to try to reach out to his campaign and see where this guy's at. But what a lot of people are doing now is no matter what, they're going to, if Trump doesn't make it to the podium or to the inauguration, or if in some way November 5th, which is voting day, is taken away, removed, martial law, whatever the fuck craziness the Demoncrats are going to do to stop it, then people are going to revolt. Like, it's already, like, we're talking major revolt. If he gets in and he doesn't touch the swamp, doesn't go after the Demoncrats, doesn't go after the Rhipiglicans, and basically does what he did the first term, in a sense, then there's going to be a revolt. This is where the MAGAs are at. It's not about him. They don't care who it is as long as they do what they want them to do. Trump is just the person that they've selected. People don't get that. This is the person that we're going to select. And this time we're going to let him go in. But the only way he's going to do anything, if he actually has the power to take down the Demoncrats and the Rhipiglicans and destroy this agenda of the New World Order via the World Economic Forum, etc., is he has to have the majority. And people are saying if he doesn't do anything, and this stuff keeps coming, and they still keep getting this trans crap, and they keep getting the CBDC crap, and they keep doing this fucking border shit, and they keep doing the invasions, and the inflation keeps getting worse, and all this other shit, people are going to just fucking revolt. This is what's happening. This is what they've ensured. Right? They've ensured that to be the case. This isn't the one. Hang on. Is this the one? That was the scandemic. Yeah, but these are the people that were fucking, there's Deborah Birx pushing her bullshit constantly, right? If we go back here to, where is it? Did Trump get played? And I did a whole thing about this, right? He needs to say, like I'm saying, he needs to fucking say if he got played. I think I don't. It's but as I said, what I'm kind of saying here, Trump needs to admit he was fooled by the fact regarding the COVID-19 vaccine and stop being blindly proud of the. Now, once he says that causes a very gigantic chain reaction of shit for the U.S. government, and he'll be implicated, right? It could be damning for him to say that for himself. Possibly why. If he could at least say, I have moved my position on the so-called vaccine. If he could say that, that would be different. That wouldn't implicate if he could say, well, after a few years of research, I've come to the assessment that this isn't what they had shown it to be for me. Had I known this information back then, I may not have been. Yeah, that's possible. I think he'll say that once he's in. If he doesn't look, Dr. Shiva, I'm sorry, you've got a lot of good information. You're not fucking wrong on a lot of shit. You're a fucking smart guy, but you have got to get with the fucking administration and find out what they're doing. Or just talk to them. And what's their plan down the road? Because I think, and I'm trying to think what the play is here. I'm trying to think, well, what's the play for Trump? Knowing that, he supports Israel, knowing that he used to hang around, that this is before he ran, right? Knowing that he used to fucking hang around with, this is before he was running, but, what billionaire out there isn't buddy-buddy with some senator, House of Representative at the federal level or president or something, you know what I'm saying? And then they picked him. They chose him. The mainstream media and the Democrats said, let's pick Donald Trump. They had three choices, Ted Cruz, Ben Carson, or Donald Trump, and they chose Donald Trump to push him to a level, whether it was on purpose. It was on purpose, right? And this is a thing that I brought up a while back. Red flag laws, Kushner-Urbana hired swamp people instead of draining them, no repeal and replace, no end of DACA, no end of birthright citizenship. Yeah, I brought this all up. I was like, wait a second, bro. You need to do this. This is the stuff we need to hold him accountable to. Look, I know Trump's Trump, but he works for us. He needs to remember that. Right? And then there was this work to ensure any power orderly transition. Just couldn't see. Yeah, and he played that in that video. Working to ensure an orderly transition of power. And I was really pissed off when this happened because I really like Trump. Because at this point, I was like, dude, don't concede. Do not concede because we know it's bullshit. 2020 was bullshit. Right? 2021, that entire thing was bullshit. But right there, he conceded. To his base. He's not Polish. You thought he was. Yeah, I was going after this guy, man. Going, come on, bro. Fucking stop. Stop doing that. Alright? I told you a couple of months ago he'll concede. It's his role in this, Yeah, this is the information I was putting out. This is one of the reasons why one of my channels got taken down. These are the things and events that happen when a sacred landslide election victory is so unceremoniously and viciously stripped away from great patriots who have been badly and unfairly treated for so long. Go home with love and peace. Remember this day forever. Yeah. He knew he got hosed. He fucking knew he got hosed. Right? What does this go to? Let me see. See if I can. Happy link. I want to see if this plays. Is this a YouTube? I think this is. No, this is. Let me see. I want to check this. See if this. I think that was a Facebook. See if I saved that. Or if they pulled it.
The change in tune. Somebody's been bought.
Now the Democrats are politicizing the coronavirus. You know that, right? Coronavirus.
Yeah, nobody else is.
They're politicizing it. We did one of the great jobs. You say, how's President Trump doing? They go, oh, not good, not good. They have no clue. They don't have any clue. They can't even count their votes in Iowa. They can't even. No, they can't. And this is their new hoax.
Whoa.
But you know, we did something that's been pretty amazing. We're 15 people in this massive country. And because of.
Yeah, that's what he says. But that changed. I'm just letting you know that changed. And I followed the change. Right? Let me see here. Facebook is removing posters putting Trump down, playing the dangers of the. Let us decide what is fact or fiction. Let me see. Bragging about things. Facebook has removed a post from President Trump that downplayed the dangers of the coronavirus pandemic and compared it to the flu. A comparison that medical experts have repeatedly said is unfounded and potentially dangerous. Let us fucking decide what is fact or fiction. NBC's news and being liberal and bragging about it. Yeah, basically. Right? And then I showed that his administration bought 100 million doses on August 11th in 2020. And then they bought another. And that was, I think that was with Moderna. And then from Pfizer, they got 100 million doses on July 2020. July, August. I should put those the other way around, but anyway. Operation Warp Speed officials just told reporters they published some of their contracts. Here's the Moderna's for your reading pleasure. This is under him. I'm just saying it's under his watch. This is the contract that they won't show anybody. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm still voting for him. There's no other direction to go. Dr. Shiva isn't gonna. If he gets anywhere near the podium, they'll take him out. They'll take Dr. Shiva out. I'm just telling you guys right now. Here's another one. The COVID killing crew. There it is. All right. I was like, yeah, these guys are going after COVID. That's cool. But then we found out that they're not really going after COVID. They're going after something else. First vaccine administered. Congratulations, USA. So this is, and they didn't remove him yet. Right? This is December 20th. Congratulations, world. Yeah, this is tough. He was all in. Let's go back to that. December 20th. Right? And then Trump is taking engaged session for CMS. It's time for all of us to get off of this money train and do it down, investigate these two sickos. Yeah, I was trying to get people to understand. Trump mobilized U.S. military to deliver. This got really bad. The military was mobilized under him to deliver this shit. You guys should read some of this. It's right here. Here it is. Right, I'm just going to put it out there for you. And I put this up a long time ago. Well, Trump bent over and took the deal, which I thought he took the deal on leaving. Kamala will be finished in about a year after we dump this moron. Assange can't fucking fuck with us, and we're following the Great Reset plan perfectly. Stop staring at that teenager, you perf. Yeah. Here's a bit of information too, which I thought was interesting to put up. Printing money, trillions added to U.S. money supply per year. Toward the end of his term, he did $4 trillion, right? And then it went down to $3 trillion. Then it's gone up to, I don't know, like $10 trillion. They are all part of the Great Reset, New World Order, Fourth Industrial Revolution. Crowd started, and Biden is keeping it going. That was my thought. That was my thought. And here's the process right here. Right? Here's the process. 10 stages of genocide. People are divided into us and them. People are forced to identify themselves. Discrimination. People are going to face systematic discrimination. Dehumanization. People equated with animals, vermin, or disease. The government creates specific groups to enforce the policies. The government broadcasts propaganda to turn the populace against the group. That's about where we're at. Official action to relocate people. Beginning of murders, theft and property, trial, massacres. That's kind of where we're at right now. That's where we're at. Official action, relocate. We're at stage 6, 7, 8. Exterminate, wholesale, eliminate the group. It is extermination, not murder. What is the rest of this here? The government denies that it has committed any crime. That's the thing. Now, what is this? U.S. debt clock. Oh, that's the debt clock. Which one is this? Let me copy this one. Let's play this. I don't know if this is still out there. Let me see if this one is still out there. Let's see.
The European Union takes tremendous advantage of us. Almost as bad economically as China.
August
People say,
22nd,
that's a terrible
2021.
thing to say. I say, really? How many Chevrolets are in Beijing right now? Maybe none. Okay? They won't take our cars. They won't take our farm product. They won't take anything. And I was hitting them hard. And then the China virus came, and it was a terrible period of time, but we did the greatest job. And because the base was so strong, what we did was so strong. Our country is doing well. It's going to be blown now with all the inflation and everything else that's taking place. But we built such a strong foundation that our country is doing great and other countries are doing horribly, horribly. Remember, they used to use anything to hit us. When we got hit, I closed it to China, closed it to Europe, anything to hit us. But they'd say, in South Korea, they're doing so well. South Korea is being decimated right now. India is doing so well. India is being decimated right now. We did a great job on that. The ventilators, the equipment that we got, the cupboards were all bare. Everything that we did. And then we developed a vaccine, 3 vaccines in 3 months, in 9 months. And actually, I'll tell you, it was 3 days less. 3 days less than 9 months. And it's great. And you know what? I believe totally in your freedoms. I do.
Yeah, that still doesn't sit well with me, but I'm still voting for him. Yeah, Trump in office by both forced them. Yeah, pretty much. Here's another one. Let's see this one. Let's see this one.
As they can. When the plague came in from China, I dragged the slow and complacent bureaucrats from the FDA and the CDC into the Oval Office. I pushed them like they have never been pushed before. And thanks to the relentless efforts of my administration and me, we got miraculous therapeutics straight to patients with historic speed. And we produced 3 vaccines to end the pandemic in record time. Would have never happened. Would have never happened. We did it in less than 9 months. They said a minimum of 3 years, probably 5 years, and sir, it probably won't happen at all. If we didn't have that, we would be in a position like perhaps over 100 years ago, right? 1917, over 100 people. I hear different numbers, but perhaps as many as 100 million people died. We beat back the failed foreign policy.
He really believed that that was working. And I've watched this video several times. He really, truly believed that this was working. I don't see him... What I'm seeing, which is interesting, is he truly believes that it was the right thing to do. I think he...
With the military, with the lowest taxes, the biggest tax cut ever, with the biggest regulation cuts. We built Space Force, so important, so many things. By the way, we developed a vaccine in 9 months instead of 5 years, okay, which everybody's big deal. Lots of big deals, but
not like one lady in the back clapping, just, what crisis actor or whatever. Yeah, I'm saying, you need to fucking, and what's interesting is all these videos I put up on Facebook are still up. What does that fucking say, right? What does that say?
Another essential pillar of our strategy to keep America open is the development of effective treatments and vaccines as quickly as possible. I want to see if we can do that very quickly. We're looking to, when I say quickly, we're looking to get it by the end of the year.
This was May 15th, 2020. I immediately posted this. This is where my mind was at. Jimmy Dore wasn't there. Pasta, Convo Couch wasn't there. Nobody was fucking where my mind was. Maybe a few. Ryan Christian, James Corvette, and a few people were going, I don't know. This is May 15th, 2020. I am saying this is not good. This is not good.
Maybe before. We're doing tremendously well. From the earliest days of the pandemic, we have marshaled the genius of American scientists and researchers from all across government and the private sector, from academia, from everywhere to vanquish the virus, and tremendous strides have been made. I can tell you, I get to see it every day. Tremendous strides are being made. Scientists at the NIH began developing the first vaccine candidate on January 11th. Think of that. Within hours of the virus's genetic code being posted online. So January 11th, most people never even heard what was going on January 11th, and we were out there trying to develop a vaccine, not even knowing what we were up against.
Yeah, I wasn't buying it. This is where my head was. I recommend you take the vaccine. You'll bring the right to us. Art of the deal, Klaus. And he kind of did. A lot of his followers followed him and took this crap. I don't think they forgave him for it either. All right. Yeah, I was telling people back in, what is this, March 6, 2023, if you honestly and truly believe that this man has your interests, health, and safety completely in. Yeah, what is this? You need to clear clean DCA Catholic. Play corrupt and compromise those judiciaries. Yeah, Donald Trump processes 10 new freedom cities featuring futuristic flying cars in a new campaign video. I think he was on board. I think he was buying all this shit. And I put this up a while back too. This was up. If Trump and Biden are the last men standing, then Trump will have my vote. But if you think that real Trump, if you want to save it, then maybe you should step back and do a little bit more research. By the way, I have been trying to get everyone to protest if necessary. The Revolt a few years from now. And I've been saying this. What is this one? What is this here? This is a YouTube. I'm gonna see what this. I wonder if this is up. Is that still up?
I am very humbly asking if you could chip in $5, $10, or even $25. I know that times
when that news got out, Pfizer gave $1 million contribution to Trump.
Most Republican media refuses to tell you the truth about how complicit Republicans were with the big pharma corruption of 2020, but the cycle will continue if real journalism isn't done. So let's get into it. Did you know that Donald Trump gave Dr. Anthony Fauci, Deborah Birx, and General Mark Milley a presidential award on January 19th after January 6th? Instead of with what he actually... Trump, God, he said he didn't need other people's money.
We spent $9.8 million on federal lobbying last year. Made its $1 million inaugural donation on December 21st record show. Yeah. Corporations give millions to Donald Trump inauguration. Huh. Let me see if this is. I'm going to save that. Alright. Alright. That's anomaly. I'm gonna put that in my things. Let's see if I can move this here. Up. Put this here. Just save it. But anyway. Yeah, I'm concerned what this guy's going to do. And I mean, are we fucked? I mean, are we? But I'm still voting for Trump. You know, I know it seems, you know, there's, let me just say this, and I'll put it to you this way, because I think this is important for people to hear since they watch my show. What else do you have? Nobody wants to go out and protest. Are you going to wait until the blue hats are at your door? The white hats aren't coming. The white hats are not fucking Gazera, and all this other shit. That's not fucking happening. Nobody's coming to save you. You're putting your faith in one man. I don't know what else to do. I tried since 20. I started getting hits. I started getting likes. I started getting big quickly in 2020. They took down they took down my channels like you wouldn't believe, because I was pointing out a lot of interesting information. Stuff you just saw here and a lot of other information. They were coming after me. They didn't like what I was saying. A lot of people don't like what I have to say. It's, you know, it's like Carlin said, it's a big club and you're not in it. You're just not in it. It's that simple. But this club, I believe, has gone too far, too fast, too soon, and they've revealed themselves. And if you don't get it, and if hopefully Trump, and from what I'm hearing from his kids, he's not directly going after the World Economic Forum, but I know he's brought up globalist regime and stuff like that, deep state and all this other stuff. But his kids have brought it up tremendously. They've actually said World Economic Forum bullshit and things of that nature. They don't like it. They get it. And if Trump goes in and he has the majority, not the super majority, but the majority, and he fucking doesn't do what MAGA has been asking him to do since 2016, they're going to fucking revolt. But you know for sure, Dr. Shiva, great information. I get it, bro. You need to focus on making, like I keep fucking telling you, bro, you need to make the fucking test. And then have him take the test. To see if he's actually taken the Mary, Roger, Nancy, Alpha fucking mandated thing they had everybody take. Make that test to see who's actually taking that shit or not. But you won't. You have no idea how powerful that is. But here's the thing. Dr. Shiva, you're not you weren't born here. People aren't going to like that. I'm not really privy on it myself either. I want somebody born and raised in the United States. Right? Born and raised. I don't want, I want you to have gone through at least over 6 years old, or when you really started noticing America. And your parents felt America. They paid taxes on America. They voted, they cheered for America. In the Olympics. That's what we want. We want patriotic, nationalism type, constitutional people. That's what I want. That's what I'm fucking very proud of this country. But more so the people. Whatever you identify as, believe it or not, I want you to be happy, but I don't want you to do it at the expense of children, which some of you fucking people do, especially the groomers that are infested in our public schools like crazy. Yeah, but Dr. Shiva, it's no matter what, you can't win this fight. You can't win this. You can't. They're not going to let you be president. You know this. You're not that fucking stupid. You need to, like I keep telling you, go fucking talk to Trump. Find out what's going on. If he doesn't want to have a conversation with you, I mean, I know people that go to Mar-a-Lago all the time, and they actually have words with Donald Trump. Why can't you? Why can't you talk to this? Why can't you sit down and talk with fucking Robert F. Kennedy? Why can't you sit down and talk with fucking with Donald Trump? What is the problem? They know you're not going to come in with guns ablaze. They know you're going to be professional. You're going to bring some information. You want to know what's going on. There's nothing wrong with that. You're going to remember everything verbatim, and then you can report it to us. But you won't do it. You can't. You're not going to get close to the fucking podium. It's not going to happen. I don't care if you get 20 million fucking people. They're not going to let you fucking be POTUS. They're not. If they let Trump do it, right? If they let Trump do it, and he gets the supermajority, or the majority in the House and the Senate, then we'll see if he's really going to do the fucking revenge that he deserves or that he thought he was supposed to get. But if he doesn't do shit, or if they don't let him get to November 5th, or if November 5th doesn't happen, there's going to be a revolt. I'm just telling you. People, I'm hearing it everywhere. The MAGAs are going to fucking be pissed, and a lot of Democrats are going to be pissed. They're going to go, how could you let that fucking happen? What kind of country is this? This is ridiculous. And it's piling up, and it's getting worse. Fucking Baltimore bridge got fucking blown up. It's another fucking bullshit. You got fucking a coach in South Carolina that is okay with trans men playing on basketball teams now. But she won. But they won the championship. They beat Iowa. You know, perfectly staged. And I'm not saying the Chiefs were staged. I'm not. But all I am saying to you guys is no matter what, 2024 will go down in history, and mark my words, as the most craziest fucking time if these House of Representatives don't pull their fucking heads out of their rectums. Seriously. And if the Rhipiglicans continue to be Rhipiglicans and not contemplate that they're not going to be on the ark when this place goes down, they think they are, but they're not. This entity, the global pedo-predator class, is coming after every fucking country. They want it, the new world together order. All under the fucking bullshit guise of climate change and all this other shit. You know, I'll end with this. Bill Gates says that a cow produces more toxic gas than a car. Then I think Bill Gates needs to go in a garage, turn on a car, shut the garage door and all the doors, and stay overnight. And I'll go in another garage with a cow and close the garage and all the doors and stay overnight. And we'll get up in the morning and we'll talk about it. Yeah, it's fucking nuts. I can't believe Fauci's still free. Bill Gates is still walking free. Zelensky is still Walensky and Zelensky. These people in CDD, FDA, USDA, all these, they're criminals. Every fucking Ray, Mayorkas, Glenn, just lots of just the most, oh God, what do you say this? Felonious creatures I've ever seen on the planet. Is Trump one of them? We're going to find out. Or we won't be allowed to find out. Anyway, there's more coming. Stay sane, stay strong, do not comply, stay vigilant. Right? Be careful, take care of each other. You know, be tolerant of your neighbors. You're fucking probably just, you know, they're just naive. They just don't know. You know, but, you know, there are people out there like me that have been following this shit for a long time. And just, you know, I see the patterns. I see the way it works. And there's only one conclusion. Their end game is to get rid of 2/3 of the population and hoard the rest of themselves. They don't need you anymore. They can print money. They can make money. They'll control money with CBDC. Central bank digital currency. You will no longer be anything. You're cannon fodder. You're collateral damage. You're going to be, you know, useless eaters, as Yuval Harari says, who's the second man on the totem pole to Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum. You're a useless eater. They don't need you anymore. That's the conclusion. Allah. That's such a terrible. But that's it. You know, Fauci, Dr. Shiva, create the test to see if people have that shit in their system from the Kool-Aid that everybody was able to take. Or shut the fuck up because you're not going to fucking beat Trump. They're not going to let it happen. They'll shut you down. Trump's already got 90 million people, no matter what the fuck he says at this point. They're just doing that. That's what they're doing. They're already all in, bro. You need to go talk to Trump or create that fucking test. And then take it to Trump. Say, hey, you want to take this? See if you actually took it or not. Yeah. Think, brilliant man. Dr. Shiva. Thanks. Have a good night, sure. Bye-bye.